February 6, 2025 marks 6 months since Ukraine launched an offensive in the Kursk region in August 2024, which became the largest breakthrough of the Ukrainian Armed Forces on the front line in the past year. As of February 2025, the Kursk operation remains one of the priorities of the Ukrainian army. This is what the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Ukraine Oleksandr Syrsky recently stated, putting this priority on par with the destruction of military facilities deep inside Russian territory. For 6 months since the beginning of the Kursk operation, the total losses of the enemy, about 40,000 people, of them more than 16,000, killed, said General Staff of Ukraine. The Kursk offensive operation aimed to prevent a new offensive of the enemy in the Sumy and Kharkiv regions. Also, Russia was forced to ask for help from North Korea, which sent 12,000 of its soldiers to Kursk. The total losses of the DPRK contingent amounted to about 4,000 people. Of the 3 conditional North Korean brigades, 1 was actually destroyed, 2 lost their combat capability. Therefore, at the present time, the units of the DPRK have been withdrawn from the front line. During the operation, Ukrainian forces captured 909 Russian soldiers. Although there have been debates about the feasibility of the rapid offensive in Kursk since the start of the offensive, both among Western military observers and in Ukraine, Syrsky has repeatedly explained the goals of the operation. Among them, he named the following tasks: prevent Russia from using the Kursk region as a springboard for a new offensive against Ukraine, to divert Russian forces from other directions, create a safe zone and prevent cross-border shelling of civilian targets, take prisoners of war and raise the morale of the Ukrainian troops and the nation. The Commander-in-Chief of the Ukrainian Armed Forces also explained that it was the operation in Kursk that helped prevent and disrupt the Russian ground offensive on Sumy Oblast, near which the Russian Federation had already concentrated troops.
A Russia-bound Azerbaijan Airlines plane was likely damaged by external objects before it crashed in late December 2024, according to a preliminary report published by Kazakh authorities. The Azal Embraer 190 jet was en route from Baku to Grozny on December the 25th when it disappeared from radar near Russia's Caspian Sea coast. It later reappeared and crashed near the Kazakh city of Aktau, killing 38 of the 67 people on board. Kazakhstan's Transport Ministry published a 53-page report in which it referred to external objects and included photographs of the plane riddled with holes, according to AFP. The damage created by these objects resulted in the loss of hydraulic fluid and pressure, as well as the failure of the stabilizer, the report said. Experts are examining fragments of foreign objects recovered from the fuselage, the report said. The report did not identify the reason why the plane went off course. According to Kazakhstan's probe, the crew had reported to air traffic control in Russia's city of Grozny about losing a GPS signal and shortly later lost control of the plane. It said that the plane had various shapes and sizes of damage in the tail section, and similar damage was found on the left engine and left wing of the aircraft. Reuters reported, citing a source in the Azerbaijani government, that the Azerbaijan Airlines Embraer E-190 passenger plane was shot down by a Russian Pantsir S anti-aircraft missile system. Journalists were told that a fragment of a Russian missile was removed from the plane that crashed in Kazakhstan at the end of the year. The Azerbaijani side has a fragment of the Pantsir S missile, which was removed from the plane and identified with the help of international expertise. Earlier, Azerbaijani media, citing anonymous officials in Baku, reported in December that preliminary findings suggest the plane was struck by a missile fired from a Russian Pantsir S air defense system as it approached Grozny. Western experts have said the plane was likely shot at from Russia. After initially saying the plane diverted from its course after it hit a flock of birds, Russia has admitted that its air defense was working the day the plane crashed and that it was repelling a Ukrainian drone attack. But Moscow has stopped short of claiming responsibility for the crash. Azerbaijani President Ilham Aliyev has demanded that Russia admit that it fired at the plane and accused Moscow of initially trying to cover up the cause of the crash.
Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi called U.S. President Donald Trump's maximum pressure policy a failed experience. According to Associated Press, Trump on Sunday signed an executive order calling for the U.S. government to impose maximum pressure on Tehran. Araghchi said in Tehran that stopping Iran from pursuing nuclear weapons is not too difficult on Wednesday, after a cabinet meeting. President Donald Trump's moves to freeze spending on foreign aid and overhaul, maybe even end, the U.S. Agency for International Development have been lauded in Iranian state media. The reports say the decisions will halt funding for opponents of the country's Shiite theocracy, pro-democracy activists and others supported through programs as part of U.S. government's efforts to help democracy worldwide. At the same time, Iranian officials appear to be signaling that they are waiting for a message from Trump on whether he wants to negotiate over Tehran's rapidly advancing nuclear program. At stake are potentially billions of dollars withheld from Iran through crushing sanctions and the future of a program on the precipice of enriching weapons-grade uranium. And even when signing an executive order to reimpose his maximum pressure on Iran, on Tuesday, Trump suggested he wanted to deal with Tehran. Meanwhile, ordinary Iranians worry what all this could mean for them. On Wednesday, Iran's currency, the rial, plunged to a record low of 850,000 to $1 after Trump's order, showing the ongoing economic volatility they face. A decade ago, it stood at 32,000 rials to $1. It is a policy he adopted during his first term at office. In 2018, he unilaterally withdrew from the Iran nuclear deal, reimposing sanctions on Tehran.
معتقدم که فشار حداکثری یه تجربه شکست خورده است و امتحان مجددش هم دوباره به شکست دیگری تبدیل خواهد شد. اگر موضوع اصلی این هست که ایران دنبال سلاح هسته‌ای نره که این قابل حصول هست، این خیلی چیز مشکلی نیست. ایران یک عضو متعهد NPT بوده. ایران موازش در این خصوص کاملا روشن هست. فتوای مقام معظم رهبری هم وجود داره که تکلیف رو برای همه ما روشن.
Fighters from the 79th Brigade of the Ukrainian Armed Forces continue to repel attacks by the occupying Russian army in the Donetsk region. Footage posted on the brigade's Telegram channel shows Ukrainian fighters destroying a tank column and infantry of the Russian army using artillery and drones. In addition to repelling the attacks, the brigade's fighters attacked the positions of the invaders, killing and capturing a large number of Russian soldiers.